Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great most on the roll well, and Shalom to the brothers doing the work of Syrian truth. Yeah, I had this, incident today, in the UK up north in Liverpool, I believe, Merseyside. I believe. Oh wait, northwest seaside town. Well, Merseyside police. I was assuming around in and around there. So it says, 2 children die and 9 injured after ferocious knife attack in Southport. And yeah, just looking at it's kind of it's a wild incident because this is what boy 17 arrested following absolutely abhorrent incident at children's dance class. So yeah, it appears like these 17-year-olds come through and just let loose, and they don't know what the fuck has happened. There's no kind of obvious uh you know a motive or whatever at present, but it's just like with this incident, it's kind of just showing how the spirits really shifted, not even just with this particular incident, but it's just like over the course of like the last, like this year really, you've had that kind of increase in these chaotic events, violence, confusion. You had the Trump assassination attempt. You had over here as well people making a big fuss. Those two things that happened. I think two things that happened last week. We had like a soldier get stabbed by what looked like some road jake or something outside the barracks, and then you had like an incident in in the in was it Manchester Airport, which caught the attention of the people, where it looked like some guy, some guy got his fucking head kicked in by some gun police that were at the airport. But then you see the footage, and the guy was fucking knocked, thumped out 2 women, and then was making and then approached the geezer as well, thumped in the back of the head. Then they tased him down, and then the guy booted him. So it's like all this kind of chaotic events have, now they're just kind of background noise. It's not even. That's the thing, is this one's wild, mostly because it's kids. I'm sure it's like you go through just like the news of an extended period of time, you're gonna see a variety of incidents where it will kind of be, focusing, putting the spotlight over all these different events are happening, and it's just like people are at the point where that's the thing is with the chaos, because even with this is just on a local scale, but then with global events, what's going on, well, still Russia and Ukraine, still the state of Israel, Palestinians and whatnot. These incidents are happening between all them. People are going to be looking at like, yo, what's going on? Like, why are these things happening? What's the cause? I don't understand. But that's the thing, is with all these things coming together, it's the spirit of the times, man. We're now at the point where we're the cusp, we're the end, where everything's coming to a head. So you have all this chaos building up, and that's the thing. It's not just within, well, it's within the world, but it's also with the truth. You got people coming with all kind of criminal bootleg doctrines at the last minute. Why is it that hell was something that was being dealt with, that was getting dealt with like a decade ago, that got completely put in the grave, man. That hell doctrine got completely put in the grave, and yet you have people coming at the last minute, and it's really trying to frustrate the purpose of this word, because what is the end? They see, it's brothers out there, the word building up steam to the point where it's like it can't even be challenged or addressed on any kind of scale. As such, um, they're trying to send guys in to just frustrate, to come up and ask the same question, try and cut, like, say, oh, I don't understand, and then try and cut the doctrine. But again, as far as for the elect, even with all the capabilities that are going to be open up to Esau, the elect ain't going to be saved. None of those that were given onto Yahushua are going to be lost. So it says 2 children have died and 9 have been injured, 6 critically after a series of stabbings at children's dance class in Southport Money. Okay, Southport. So it says 2 adults are also in critical condition after what police described as a ferocious attack. The stabbings took place at a Taylor Swift themed yoga and dance class at the Heart Space, a studio that also hosts antenatal and hypnobirthing classes in the northwest seaside town. Serena Kennedy, the chief constable of Merseyside Police, said a man armed with a knife had entered the class and started to attack the children at about 11:47 on Monday. When officers arrived, they were shocked to find that multiple people, many of whom were children, had been subjected to a ferocious attack and had suffered serious injury, she said. We believe that the adults who were injured were bravely trying to protect the children who were being attacked. So yeah, it says a 17-year-old boy from the village of Banks in Lancashire and born in Cardiff was later arrested on the suspicion of murder and attempted murder in connection with the attack. So, so you going up in there as well. This guy's 17. I don't even know what the fuck. It might be a road dude. It might be who even knows. But it's again, these incidents happening. It's all that steam being built of the time we're in. Everything's on the cusp, and the way that society's basically been pushed is all these different layers of this system. Where at one point you would be able to to basically indulge within it and live life to a certain standard. A lot of people are completely falling out of that, and those capabilities no longer exist. So there's all kinds of people that are just off the grid. They ain't got no aspirations, and then maybe the aspirations they do have are just on the scale of the aspirations they do have are just on the scale of crime, selling drugs, robberies, burglaries, stick-ups, grabbing people's phones or whatever on the back of a fucking electric scooter. And but again, it's like, it's wild just because it's a bunch of youths. So I think they say what did they say? No, I think it's a bit further down. Yeah, it said the dance and yoga session aimed at children aged 6 to 11 was being run by two teachers and was due to finish at noon. So yeah, it was like between 6 and 11. So they were young as fuck. So it's fucking wild, bro. But then that's just the time at the end now where these things, it's it's wild, but it's not even on the level of being the wildest thing that's happened like really over the course of the year. But that's that's the time now where it's like before, something might not happen to where it's other than obviously like gang crime or whatever, which no one really gives a fuck about. There wouldn't really be any big notable event for a little while, and then people kind of be able to think things are running normally. But now it's at that point where it's just like, yo, anyone that sits and thinks about it will be like, yo, what the hell's like, what's going on here, man? What's going on? This is nuts. How's this happening? So I read this, Isaiah 24:4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the haughty people of the earth do languish. And yeah, that's what's happening. The earth's basically mourning, fading away. You got nature basically being defiled under Esau's rule. where it's, you know, the trees are lamentating, but then as well the people as well. The people are lamentating. What's it, Isaiah 14, where it'll be they'll say, since thou since thou hast gone down or cast down, uh, roughly paraphrasing, no fella came against us, I believe. And that's really how it's gonna be. When Esau goes down, people, everyone's gonna realize, damn, this guy was really putting the squeeze on us. But what? It's in general, all aspects and parameters, measures, all means of measurement for how society functions. You can see it's decaying, it's fading away, it's languishing. And then what does it say? The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they've transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. And yeah, the way that society's being operated, they're not operating under the scriptures, they're not operating under the truth. They're not dealing with the laws. Esau's taken, the scriptures. He's taken the law, the laws, yeah. And then, he knows of them. But then what? He's cast it behind him. And then as such, what does that mean? It's he's broken the covenant, everlasting covenant, transgressed the laws. He took the covenant on himself, then didn't even, hold himself to it. As such, what? Judgments are coming down upon this place, man. He's basically entrenched himself further and further within that wickedness, to where it's all basically coming out, man. It's leaking out, it's festering, it's pouring out of every orifice. So what does it say? Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Yeah, there's places, it's that curse has devoured the earth, and that fire, man. That fire, part of why the fire being used is to cleanse, man, because of all the vile acts that go on and then now are as a normal. And that's the thing, is because of the madness that's normalized out here. That's why the feedback effect, the rebound of it, is the judgments being passed down, which is why you have incidents like this pop off. Then it's those things are all in the spirit, man. It's all basically, as everything's turning up, people are doing all forms of madness. Matthew 24. Matthew 24 and 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Yeah. Because iniquity shall abound, and that's really what's happened. Wickedness has basically been increasing. Then what? The love of many wax cold. You got a lot of people out here where it's like they're completely through, man. They're decimated. They ain't got nothing. And that, society ain't even giving it, having any mercy on them. And they're just thinking, yo, fuck this place. Doing all kinds of madness. Which is, it's all, all these things have basically, built up through the process of time. Because you always had, disenfranchised people. But in other societies, you'll have, means of kind of making it so someone can't just be completely through. Here, you can be through, man. You can be just out sleeping in front of storefronts, shooting up drugs, doing all form of madness. Like, people can get absolutely decimated out here, man. And other people looking, just be like, yeah, ain't even trying to fuck with them, man. I ain't even trying to interact with that motherfucker. And that's kind of like the whole, everyone's focused on themselves, which, even more just makes it so you can just be caught out there, man. Some people might have just had like 1 or 2 bad days, then they're just fucking done. They shoot up some heroin, smoke some crack, and then they're fucking decimated, man. Fucking hell. Micah 2:10, it says, "What arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it was polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction." And that's really the core of it, man. As far as for us, yeah, we're meant to arise and depart. We're not meant to be partaking, because why? It's polluted, and that's really the reason why all these incidents happen. All kind of madness is going down. All kinds of crimes. You go through and check through. You can see people are being indicted, people are being convicted, arrested, thrown in jail. Being what's the term? Capital punishment being executed on them for all kinds of madness, and that shit, just permeates through society as if it's normal. Because why? Place is corrupt. It's polluted as fuck. Now read this, 2nd Esdras 9. You should start from the top. So it says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the Highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." So yeah, let's say measure thou the time diligently, even begin to visit the world. Yeah, and that's really what and as far as for the people able to discern what the times are, to even measure the times, it's really only the prophets, those who the Lord's dealing with, those who basically had that truth, they've been sucked with that spirit to receive this truth, to then be able to recognize what's going down. Most people, they're completely oblivious, man. They're thinking about, I wonder who the president's gonna be. Over here, where it's like, Labour's just coming in, I hope Labour do this. I hope they take care. Yeah, I just want they're thinking about 15, 20, 30. Some people like, yeah, maybe we'll be immortal before the end. Might be able to kind of make it. Might be alright. We might be able to get them. You guys are thinking about Neuralink, like it's gonna make them into was I thinking of the $1 Million Man? That's the one. That's really how most people are interacting with and looking at these things. But then what's the reality? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And yeah. And shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And yeah, that's the key. The end is manifest, which is why all these incidents, all this chaos coming upon the earth is happening. And this is the thing: is Esau thinks he's maneuvering and utilizing it for his benefit, for his desires, but he's a puppet on strings. He's doing the bidding of Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua Hashem Dash on the left hand side, to where he's pursuing a plan wherein it will lead to his own judgment and destruction. And part of that process is all this chaos being gone through, and then further chaos. The MOTB, time of Jacob's trouble. That's why it's like these incidents You know, they already become. I say that, you know, they become normalized. They already become normalized. People put their flowers down and then forget about it before the flowers even wither, man. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom, shalom. Yeah, but shalom. Shalom.